Rahim. Let me talk about something real quick. This is like a real conversation to the taxpayer, right? If you woke up one day, brushed your teeth, made your little coffee, looked out your living room window, and you seen a police officer, a car, a unit sitting down at the end of your block in your neighborhood, what would be the first thing that crosses your mind? I believe the first thing that would cross your mind is, oh, something might be going on. My neighbor might be in distress, something like that. You might or might not look further into it from there. You might be like, oh yeah, all right, cool. Then you go about your business. You go back, you start getting your day together. Get in the shower, all that, eat breakfast, boom, boom, boom. Routine stuff. Then you go to look out your window again, and you see that the police cruiser is still there. So you like, man, something happened. And your concern gonna go up. There's something going on in my neighborhood where police presence is necessary. So you come out your house and you walk down the block, down the street. You tap on the police officer window. Excuse me, officer, how you doing? What's going on? And he say, nothing. Well, what are you doing here? And he says, I am sitting here watching your neighborhood to see if I see a crime being committed. You say, did somebody call you? He say, no. I am sitting here with the car running, wasting gas, watching your neighborhood to see if I see a crime being committed. Now let's just be honest right now in this moment. Your thought process, your emotional reactions are going to be, I'm a taxpayer, and you're wasting my tax dollar by sitting here when you could be out fighting crime somewhere else. I'm not trying to put nobody in a position, any biases, any racial, things or anything like that. It's just, it is what it is, right? The taxpayer who lives in high taxed areas is never going to be cool with or allow a police officer to just sit in their neighborhood watching them to see if he can discern if a crime is being committed in their neighborhood. 98, and I'm going to leave 2% because I'm just saying it, 98% of the time, if this ever happens, the taxpayer is going to demand that the police officer do his job. Do his job. And his job is to go out and fight crime where it's being committed at. Period. Which indicates that the taxpayer does not perceive his neighborhood, or not just a taxpayer, a person who is in a high taxed neighborhood, right? A person who lives outside of the inner city, a person who lives out on land in the county, a person who lives next to golf courses and malls and so on and so forth. There are no street corners where this person lives at. There are no street corners where this person gets. There are intersections, and there's high traffic areas right no less than a quarter mile away from this person lives at. Heavy commerce. There are no street corners. I bring this up and I'm having this conversation with you because this is exactly what goes on in low socioeconomic areas in the inner city. let's just say what it is. When you have a place that is dominated by government insurance programs, right? And government funding. When you have this particular place, there is a high police presence. Listen to what I'm saying. Public school, public housing, public welfare. Then you're going to have a higher police presence of it being understood that law enforcement is allowed to and expected to spend 24-hour shifts in these neighborhoods, sitting with the car running, watching to see if a crime is going to be committed. Because this is where crime happens at, right? That's not something to shirk away from. That's not something to hide from. It's a fact. This is what's going on. So people who are raised as children in places that are considered high crime, they become accustomed to being occupied by law enforcement. Every other car is a police car. Every time they turn a particular corner, there's a cop car sitting, running with law enforcement officers sitting in the car watching them. In a manner which suggests that everybody who lives here is potentially a criminal or on their way to commit a crime or coming from committing a crime. Nobody called the cops. Nobody called for assistance. The cops are trained to occupy this place. The cops are trained to respond to calls that are in this place, though. The cops know that if they were to sit with the car running, how you doing? Sit with the car running in a place that is not high crime, they will be reprimanded. Their shift commander would chew them out and talk down to them about how they're wasting tax dollars.